masterful changes of mood there with Mr. B. That's the infamous scherzo, the Suicide Scherzo from the Clockwork Orange, but really it is Beethoven's Symphony Number 9, the third movement, the Scherzonophonic. And that is our entrant for another missions session. Welcome, folks. This is vk3sl, and we're testing here, of course, nothing to do with entertainment whatsoever. These are tone tests. Absolutely not indeed, Mr. OP. How are you?
Good afternoon, vk3sl, vk3op. I'm very well. You?
Yeah, good. Yeah, look, I'm relishing. I've had a free day today. First holiday.
Leisurely lunch?
Oh, look, it was brilliant. I did a long walk, actually. I walked for about nearly 10 Ks.
Very good.
Yeah, in a linear park nearby, but it was such a beautiful autumn day. It was just great to be outside. It's good.
Yes, I took Pooch for an hour and a half walk earlier, and
brilliant.
It was very nice through some parkland as well, and
yeah,
I enjoyed it. So did he.
Yeah, good, excellent, important stuff to do. It's great to sort of be in a spacious environment and enjoying the autumn sun. It's the best time, isn't it? And you'd appreciate this fully, being a cameraman as well, as the rich saturation. The colours are just magnificent at this time of the year.
Yeah, light, bright sunny conditions. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
Nice light, nice pickies.
That's it. But the autumn light has got a particular sort of, I don't know, it's got that velvia look.
Lower angle and sun and all that. Even winter, shorter days, but the light is nicer.
Yeah, okay. I've just got a visitor into the booth here. Someone's just come home from work. So what I will do is I'll just cut to the chase for a little bit, and then I'll return to the missions very soon. So to kick off today, we've got a recording courtesy of Mr. Fleming, who's listening, and this is a choice of his. It's the Markets with a space-inspired tune called Outer Limits. This is VK3SL testing. Sorry about the dead air there, folks. I just had a task that I had to attend to in earnest. So, yeah, you've probably all gone to sleep. But that was a good choice. I did listen to it earlier, so thank you, Mr. F. That's the Markets with Outer Limits. Michael Z. Gordon. And, yeah.
Very, very surf era.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. So, yeah, good suggestion. And he's also suggested a doco on the Shadows and Cliff Richard. And we'll feature that another time. I'd like to, sample that one. And that sort of preempts the Beatles phenomenon, I think, by all accounts. So, yep, another theme to expand upon. All care of the Tube, which just offers us endless material. But there's also a lot of material here that I need to sort through. And it's ongoing process, and I'm discovering some interesting snippets though from these this big pile of acetates and vinyl pressing, 16-inch vinyl pressings from the 1940s, and it's going to be quite a process dubbing them all off. But I will try and get them done in the next few weeks. And there's been some. What the reason why a lot of them survive is simply the fact that they were blanks on the other side, and someone's used the blanks to record sort of incidental stuff or test stuff or whatever, and some of that sort of incidental material is probably the most interesting. So, like I got a snippet of a long-lost ABC variety program on one of them. It's staggering. I mean, it's just this little tiny snippet, and you can have a listen. I can put it on. I'll just take these off.
vk3sl.
Hi, how are you, Frank?
Very well, thank you, Steve. And you?
Excellent. Yeah, great. All good.
Frank, how are you?
Yeah, very well, Frank. How are you?
Good, pretty good, thanks. Lots of time in the sun today.
Oh, look, it's good, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Being outside, this autumn sun is just...
Yeah, it was good, and I believe
brilliant.
tomorrow is going to be similar, and then Wednesday it's going to get very wet again.
This is not fair. This is my penance. See, I've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, and I was really looking forward to having some quality outdoor time, and but nevertheless, yeah.
Make the most of it tomorrow, Steve.
Well, tomorrow I've got to work all day tomorrow. I'm back. I've got a rehearsal at 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So early start, and anyhow, it'll be a light day, and I might be able to duck out and just just get a bit of warmth. But later in the week, I'll be probably doing a lot of this dubbing and other things. So, and I'm going to catch up with Mr. W, who's going to very kindly help me install some alternative systems for UHF and VHF while we wait for the TS2000 to get repaired. So I'm eternally grateful. It's just brilliant, because I really do need to have a workable situation. We can't have events like last Friday night occurring again. And of course, this coming Friday night we'll have our OTR special with you, Frank, and also with Jamie. So looking forward to that very much.
Is Jamie on for that? Do you know?
Yeah. He told me he's got that on his calendar. So we.
I know he's looking forward to it, as am I.
Yeah, on the 25th. So hopefully that's all still current, and I believe so. So we'll,
great.
Yeah,
great.
we look forward to it very much. Yeah, so look, I've been sifting through some of these acetates in between activities today, and there's all sorts of bits and pieces. There's just a few minutes ago I noticed there's a snippet of an ABC variety program. Have a listen to this.
And we'll take it over to Who's the First. And we'll take it over to Who's the First. And we'll take it over to Who's the First. And we'll take it over to We'll take it over to As I take this microphone round the studio, I shall sing the first line of a number that everyone should know, and the line of a number that everyone should know, and the line of a number. No, and the.
I won't persevere anymore. It's just going to be painful. But slowly but surely, I will try and assemble all of these. They're just tests, little test runs, and from various variety programs, quiz shows, excerpts, things like that.
That was Norman Banks.
Was that Norman Banks? Interesting. Oh, wow. Thank you for that. It's good to get some information about who's on these. So I'll try and just dump them all. I'll just dub them all aggregate them all into a file, and then try and sort things out. And
I can probably help you with nearly all the voices.
Oh, look, that'd be just fantastic. It'd be really good. And so I was just saying to Frank O.P. before that a lot of these only survive because people have used the other side, the blank side of the acetate record, for doing various tests and sampling other music, or using excerpts for quiz shows, because it was current to, well, a lot of them were just destroyed as a matter of course. And so it's that's the way they did things.
Just briefly on another matter, do I need to register for tonight, or have you already registered?
Look, that's a very good question. I will, as soon as I've finished, I'll check that out. I haven't even got my head around it yet. I don't think we do need to register. I think it's just a click and just follow the prompts.
Well, there is a form.
Oh, right, okay. Maybe we do have to put something in.
Well, presumably, if they bother having a form.
Yeah, okay. If they have a form, maybe we do have to register. Okay, sorry, I should be more aware of it. It's on my definite. I mean, I was going to devote the half an hour before the program to setting myself up, but I haven't fully looked into the way it's
sure.
initiated. So yeah, thanks for that. I'll look. Maybe we'll have a conversation after the program, and I think it's 7:30 start, if I'm not mistaken. So we might finish this a bit early, and then I'll make sure that I've got everything sorted from my end, and then maybe we can have a chat about it, Frank.
Yeah, that's fine. I can get somebody to help me with the rego here.
Yeah, sure. Look, I think it might be just that they want to know who's there. So So excuse us, folks. It's
sorry, Frank.
It's well, look, anyone's invited if anyone wants a link to this. But it seems like it needs to be a slightly more official response. But I think anyone, it is a public lecture. All the AES lectures, the EAS Engineering Society lectures are public lectures, and this one's a Zoom one, and it's from one of the gentleman who is one of the assistant technicians at Abbey Road, and apparently it's got some remarkable industry stories, according to Greg Siegel, who brought it to my attention. So
he had a very long involvement.
Yeah.
You could send Frank that email that you sent me.
Yeah, look, if anyone's interested, just let me know, and I'll certainly forward it. And as I said, it's anyone and everyone is welcome to attend it. But as you've just mentioned, Frank, it seems like you do need to register. So anyhow, I look forward to it very much.
Likewise.
Yeah. So what's the time? 1:15. Well, amongst these records, there is a 16-inch vinyl pressing. It's on a World Service issue, and it's American, but it happens to be Xavier Cugat and his orchestra. So I reckon this would be a bit of a fun way to get the ball rolling. We might put that on, and then follow on with one of these more. I think there's an Aspro show, a evening show, which could be interesting to listen to. So I'm keen to sort of exploit this and test the water in here, and before I start dubbing them, at least have a listen. So this is a good forum to do that, I suppose. So yeah, we'll give that a whirl. Now, I was going to say that Frank O.P., are you there still? Maybe not. Okay, I'll catch up.
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was just going to say that you're very welcome to come out with Mr. W on Wednesday.
We've already arranged it. That's actually the case. He probably hasn't told you yet, but he rang me earlier, so we had a chat, and that works out well for me.
Oh, okay, that's great. Yes, I know there are a few other issues that needed to be sort of contextualised, but that sounds like it's going to work. That's brilliant. Excellent. Look forward to face-to-face meeting, and and I'm grateful to you both for helping me with the technical side.
No problem. That's why it took so long to respond just then, because I'm over at where the soldering iron is, building another isolating transformer and pad for the interfaces to these things.
Oh, right. Oh, very good. Excellent. Yeah, I did take your advice and got a whole bag full of those transformers from the
0709s.
Yes, from the A store.
They're a handy unit for this stuff.
Yeah, they're great. So I've got those at hand for various applications.
Well, the audio you're hearing here is coming in via one of those. And
okay.
So a few of these are integrated now, but I'm just tweaking the pad levels to get them a bit nicer. So
sure, that's great. Yeah, I've I mean, at every single turn in this room, I've got an isolation transformer, and it's the only way to, especially with so much RF in the same room, and earth loops are just a constant issue here. So it's been a saving grace to have.
Absolutely, and that's the approach here. And I talked to Wayne about years ago, and he set up what he has there, and I'm doing just mine a little differently. So in the interfaces, I'm building a little bit of perf board, and it has one of those transformers on it.
Yep.
And on the outputs of the transformer, it goes straight into a H pad.
Oh yes.
Typically, and the pad varies.
Yeah.
The values of it, well, they're anywhere between 20 and 60 dB, depending on the input stage on the back of these radios. But
yes.
Which gives me really good isolation. But what it also does is gives me incredibly good noise immunity, because if anything were to be injected on the longer cables, even though they're balanced, by the time it goes through that transformer and then is padded by 40 to 60 dB, it's essentially so low it doesn't matter.
It's really good. It makes complete sense, and that's probably one of the things that's wanting here, and it's been possibly a part of the cause of some of the level issues that I've been experiencing. I do have pads.
It could be because in your case, particularly where you're TXing 160, that's got that tendency because it's so much closer to AF.
Yeah.
That there are stages, there are good quality AF stages will respond to those frequencies, albeit well down, but they will respond.
Yes. No, it's fine. Yeah, so these are questions because of the output of the desk here is plus 8 dB, and
it looks like the old ABC standard.
Yes, that's right. In fact, just about everything in here is plus 8. A few things are plus 4.
And I was doing some reading recently because the digital desk I'm running to integrate all this. I was fiddling around because I have now sort of a calibrating meter where I can measure that stuff more accurately. I've got hold of an Anritsu level meter.
Yeah.
So I can set it up to be plus 4 or plus 8 or whatever standard. And at 600 ohm or various impedances. And so I was using it to check a few things just to know exactly where I was in that meter bridge of mine. And interestingly, apparently a lot of the American broadcasters still run plus 8.
Do they really?
Even to this day, any of the ones that are still operating in the analog domain.
Okay.
So that was interesting to know. And I know why the ABC did it, because it gave them more immunity and better headroom on their systems. And they did it for a long time, but they migrated across to plus 4 probably 20 or 25 years ago.
Okay.
But what I noticed about this digital desk is that's okay. And I was looking at the metering, and this has a set of digital bar graph type meters on the front, and the levels just didn't seem to coincide with anything close. And so I set up the tone generator in the desk to output until I could see the 0 VU equaling plus 4 on the cal meter and the other bridge that I've got.
Sure.
And then this thing's measuring at about, minus 20 on its meters for that same level. And I thought, okay, what's this all about? So I did some digging and found out, of course, now in the digital domain, a lot of these desks and bits of equipment use a standard called dBFS.
Oh.
And dBFS refers to dB full scale.
Right.
The 0 dB full scale level is essentially the onset of digital distortion and clipping. Yeah. So they reference back from that.
Well, that's the catastrophic point, whereas otherwise you get a soft clip in the analog domain.
Now knowing that, at least I know how to set the chain and have it all, work in and out, and it's fine, but it's just knowing what the standard is.
Yes, that's fascinating. Would you be able to bring that meter with you is that convenient? Or it might be a bit hard to...
Yeah, no, I can do that. Yeah, that's easy, actually.
I'm just wondering because, see, I just do it by ear. I've got no comprehensive way of... I haven't got bridges or anything like that here. I've made up H pads.
Well, the good thing is I can bring that, and I can also bring that, I think I sent you a picture ages ago of the new digital desk with the old meter bridge sitting on it.
Yes.
That meter bridge has got selectable inputs for minus 10, plus 4, plus 8, plus 12 and plus 16.
Yes.
Because it's a hangover from those older auntie days.
Right.
So I can bring that as well.
Well, it'd be interesting to just sort of see what's actually going on, because as I said, I've just sort of guessed. And
absolutely. Look, it means you can put up some tone and just run it through the desk and set a level and have a look at, see, yes, you think it's plus 8, well, we can check whether it is or not. And
yes.
and
That's
then
right.
at least you know.
Yeah, no, fair enough. No, that would be it'd be most interesting to sort of get a few more perspectives. I'm lucky that the desk has got multiple outputs just from the desk alone. The line amps in this desk stereo, so I run one stereo channel to. Well, it's got two outputs from each line amp, so there's two line amps. And one of them is each leg of the stereo chain. One goes to 160, one goes to UHF or VHF, and then there's another set that comes from the same line amp, which goes to the another delegation mixer, which I use for the streaming service. Now I've got an H pad in that, which pads it right down, and that's sort of okay. But I think that's a part of where the problem is. Because
I might have a solution for you.
yeah, look, it's interesting. So that's another. I bought a splitter recently, but I haven't.
Distribution amp.
Yeah, well, I bought a splitter distribution amp recently, a Behringer one, and I haven't. I haven't installed. Yeah, I think it is.
Yes, I've got. That's what I'm running as well. The output you're listening to through one of those.
Right.
So, they can be run as a mixer or a splitter.
Yeah.
So effectively a 6-in 2-out mixer.
Yeah.
Or a 2-in 6-out DA.
Yeah, sure.
And that's the way I run them.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
And they work rather well. And in fact, the good thing is that the little meters they have on them, zero on those is actually +4. It's
okay, that's interesting.
Whilst they're not, they're not the greatest meters in terms of the number of segments, but they seem to be relatively accurate.
Mine might be a simpler version, actually. I'll just grab it one moment. I'll just excuse the dead air, folks. I'm just going to grab this. It's over here. And I haven't even unpacked it yet. I've just got it here in the box. Now, what model is it? I just haven't installed it because I suddenly lockdown occurred and I had to. Yes, it does have the meter bridge. Yes, it's the DS2800.
Oh no, that's different.
Is it? Okay, it's an Ultralink and it's a 2-input, 8-output distribution splitter.
Okay.
And
so that's similar. I'll send you a pic of one of these.
Yeah.
Well, and,
do that. Yeah, look, I'd be interested to have a look.
I mean, so what's yours called? A DSP?
Yeah, DS2800.
Okay, I'll look them up.
Yeah, see, I want to use this for the streaming service and basically for the two streams that I use and anything sort of digital and it's not associated with the radio systems. And then, by the way, the second line amp.
The reality is, though, does it have individual output controls for the
yes,
level
it
on
does.
each output?
It does.
So you could use it for everything. And then you've got the ability to tailor, so you can continue to send +4 or +8 out of the desk, and you can then use it. In fact, you'd probably have to run down a little bit because that'll be designed to run around +4.
Yeah.
Not +8. You'll be pushing the friendship a little. But that means you can then tweak each individual output to suit whatever it's driving.
Yes, I know. It's very flexible. Now, that makes sense. I would have liked to have set it up in relation to a patch bay, but I don't. I just haven't got that sort of time. And it's
that's the way I'm going. And the same company, they also make a pretty good patch bay that's good value for money.
Yeah, it's interesting.
24 in, 24 out.
Yeah, that'd be that'd be the elegant way to do it properly.
And the thing is switchable between full or normal as well, or half normal. So it's got a selectable switch, so you can select what mode the patch runs in. Yes,
of course. No, that sounds excellent. That would be the ultimate way. But I've got to do things in stages here because I want to keep the station functioning, to make major system changes.
You're trying to build it in as you're running it. You don't want to tear everything apart.
That's exactly it. It's been built.
Difficult. Unless you set up new infrastructure so that then one day you're ready you know that everything in the new chain is ready switch. And then you can just cut across.
Yeah, that would be the best way to do it. But I think I'd look to get a better EQ if I was going to do that as well. So that would be another aspect of it. But look, that might be the way I go in the end, is to set up a system and then to switch across at the right moment and integrate all of this and do it that way. Then I wouldn't be in losing operations. So the problem is it's been one missive built upon another missive, and it's the proverbial. And when I first started putting this bird together, I still don't have a lot of an idea, but I had a lot less when I was doing that. So it's very sort of eccentric, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's not logical, and I mean I know that Mr. W said it, and I think he would be rolling his eyes, because it is basically built on a whole lot of sort of assumptions and possibly misunderstandings. But look, it sort of works. I use the second line amp just for monitoring. That's purely for the modulation monitor, and any other sort of secondary. So reference, outside monitoring reference, so I can just switch in the second channel if I want to just hear how it's going. So I've got the second channel going all the time because I've got a mod monitor on 160, and that's really, really good because I know exactly what's coming out of the transmitter, and that's got the provision for de-emphasis as well. And because of the EQ that goes out, it's got a lot of preamp on it, so I can de-amp on the mod monitor and listen back, and that's quite a useful feature. And I've actually got a mod monitor I picked up quite recently for UHF as well, but I haven't installed that yet, so that'll be another tangent. But look, I'd value any advice or any take on things from what you observe. I'm very open-minded about how I can develop the situation here and use what I've got more optimally. So any thoughts
no
along
problem.
the way?
Once having seen it, then can have a look at kind of what you have.
Yeah.
Talk about where you want to head.
Yes.
And then maybe work out a bit of a plan as to how to get there.
Well, that'd be
with minimal
terrific.
Impact.
Yeah, I'd be eternally grateful. That'd be wonderful because it would allow things to sort of streamline a lot better. I use there's a Behringer mixer that came from Mr. W, which has been fantastic as an input for all of the for you now.
I know the one. They're good little units.
Yeah, look, it's great. It sits here and it's really working very nicely. I put the roller through it. I put you through it now. I can monitor off AM. I can monitor off a whole range of external sources which go through that, and that's been fantastic. So I give one fader devoted to that on the main desk.
You can submix whatever you like on that, and that just appears as a fader on your main desk.
That's right, and I've got another submixer which I use for all of the noise reduction stuff that I'm doing. Whenever I put anything through the noise reduction system, I've got another submixer.
So you kind of use that as like an effects send return
type
thing.
That's right. Yeah, so I'm sort of trying to value add to this old RME desk, but the RME desk, the main desk, it's very simple and it suits my needs because it's simple and it's elegant in its simplicity. And then the other mixers, the sub-mixers, are sort of add-ons, and I'm sort of got used to working this way. And you'll see it when you have.
Yeah, no problem.
Be interesting to.
Very good.
Yeah, so thank you. It's great. Well, what I might do, because I'm on dinner duty tonight, and what is it? 5:30. I'll put this world record program on this world program service, which I don't know where they came from. Was it recorded by 2GB and processed by AWA? It says here, and so no doubt they were bringing in material from overseas sources. And this is disc 759, Xavier Cougar and his orchestra, and it's an outside start, and it sounds pretty damn good, actually. I did have a listen before. So we'll feature this for the next 10-15 minutes, and then we'll see where the course takes us. Maybe some more, I think I might just devote tonight's program to transcription records, because there's so many here, and they all need to be played and sampled and recognised. This one, the disc is stuck. Oh, the hole's too small. I can't get this off without taking the tint. That's interesting. Well, I haven't had that problem before. This is going to be quite a wrestle. What I'll do is I'll stick it on top of the existing record and then we'll work out a way to get the other one off afterwards. Interesting. All right, Xavier Cougar and his orchestra sitting on top of an ARP Aspro show. And we hope we don't have too much slippage. vk3sl. And thank you, Franks. This is vk3sl. We're just playing the music of Xavier Cugat, and I realise this is a locked groove record, so we'll have to give it a nudge every few minutes. It's okay, because I am doing stuff in here. Now, Frank, Mr. JR, I'm making that application now, so I'm going through the motions. It looks like it's pretty straightforward, so it should be fine. We'll give it a nudge. If anyone else is interested in a lecture by the Engineering Society of Victoria, tonight at 7:30, let me know and I'll send you a link. My email is vk3sl@hotmail.com.
Amén la vida, solamente una vez y nada más. Una vez nada más en mi huerto brilló la esperanza que alumbra el camino de mi soledad. Una vez nada más se entrega el alma con la dulce y total renunciación. Y cuando ese milagro realiza el prodigio de amarte, hay campanas de fiestas que cantan en el corazón.
Yo llevo
Ahí fue en el África lejana donde conocí el amor, y en América mi negra donde sufrí el dolor. Ahí fue en el África lejana donde conocí el amor, y en América mi negra donde sufrí el dolor. Yo quiero ir al África lejana, yo quiero ver de nuevo sus palmeras y al son de antiguos tambores volver a ver nuestro sol. Y al son de antiguos tambores volver a ver nuestro sol. En África gocé, en América también. En África gocé y en América también. En África gocé y en América también. En África gocé y en América también. Yo quiero ver nuestro son al son de antiguos tambores. Yo quiero ver sus palmeras cubriendo nuestros amores. Ay, 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 pero ven caballero, en África gocé, en América también. 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 Yo quiero ver en nuestro son al son de antiguos tambores. Yo quiero ver su palmera cubriendo nuestros amores. Ay, 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 pero ven caballero, en África gocé, en América también. En África gocé, en América también. En África gocé, en América también. Ahí baila el son, ahí baila el son, ahí baila el son, qué sabrosos son. Ahí baila el son, ahí baila el son, ahí baila el son, qué sabrosos son. Y en América también.
How very quaint. That was a transcription record featuring the music of Xavier Cugat and his orchestra. Is it the Waldorf Astoria Orchestra? I don't know. We can have a look. It's on a world program service vinyl pressing, 16-inch vinyl pressing, and featuring the Daydreamers. And that was the Daydreamers at the end. We had 4 tracks from Xavier Cugat, and then the Daydreamers were at the end. Anyhow, locked groove, so it needed a nudge as we went. The other side is Eddie Stone and his orchestra. Well, we might feature that another time. There's lots of these in the pile. And we are sampling records from a particular collection which need to be transcribed. So I'm sort of listening through and working out what the triage needs to be. Working out the order. This one says BBC Varieties. Interesting. So this is on a 3KZ disc. Maybe I might play that a bit later because I've got to work out how I wrestle this current record off. There's another one here waiting to be played. It's an Aspro show. The nighttime program. This is an actuality recording. It's made probably in a town hall somewhere. I don't know. I haven't even sampled it properly. But these Aspro shows are a very interesting snapshot of Middle Australia in the 1940s. You get a sense of how people reacted to social issues and also certain lines of questioning. We heard a very interesting record yesterday, which I must put up on YouTube ASAP, because it's again another social snapshot of the times, and these things need to be documented, I think, particularly when they're unique. Well, this record's a bit worn. I'll just give it a clean. And as I said, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get it off the turntable in the end. It's fixed. It wants to be played. So yeah, let's have a listen to the what is it? R.B. Beck, 29 Blythe Street, Sydney, and it is a Aspro Show evening program, and I think it's a centre start. This is vk3sl testing.
It's safe! This is the final Aspro Show. From the Assembly Hall, Sydney, where all state finalists will be awarded their prizes, and Mr. and Mrs. Australia will be farewelled on their glorious 7 weeks holiday to England. Last Saturday night on direct landline broadcast throughout the nation, you heard Mr. and Mrs. Keith Howard, representing the state of Western Australia, selected as Aspro's Mr. and Mrs. Australia. Within a few minutes of this program terminating, Mr. and Mrs. Keith Howard will board the Kangaroo Service Constellation and will arrive in London next Wednesday, the 20th of December. Your regular compere, John Hansbury, will conduct tonight's Aspro Show.
Ably supported, of course, by Howard Craven. Well, now, let's show Australia that we're really in a happy frame of mind tonight. Christmas is just around the corner, and what better way to welcome Christmas than with a really good old-fashioned song. Let's away with Frankie Scott at the piano with that dear old evergreen favorite, I hardly remember it, Lily of Laguna. She's my lady love, she's my love, my lady love. She's the love, she's the I know she likes me, I know she likes me, because she said so. She's my lady of Laguna, she's my lady and my rose. Well, it's a grand old favorite, Lily of Laguna, but the favorite in every Australian medicine chest. That's in that medicine chest, on the kitchen shelf, in Milady's handbag for that matter, and that waistcoat pocket, is the true and tried family friend, ASPRO, Aspro.
Summertime headaches often have an element of irritability about them due to oppressive conditions. For this reason, Aspro should be used. The action of Aspro is a soothing one, calming and steadying you as well as relieving the headache. Aspro, swift, safe, and soothing.
Thank you very much, Howard. Last Saturday night you heard an engaged couple win the magnificent Glory Box quiz jackpot, half of which they won, the other half being forwarded to a South Australian listener who sent the question. Tonight, we have 6 engaged couples on stage and we have 6 questions for them. We have 6 large family-sized bottles of Aspro here. In the top of each packet there is a slip of paper indicating the prizes applicable to each question.
The engaged couples will be allowed to select their own family-sized bottles. The prizes in one are 2 electric irons, in another 2 pressure cookers, in yet another we have 2 mantle model radios. In the fourth there are 2 imported crystal water sets. The fifth contains 2 silver tea and coffee services, and the sixth 2 beautiful electric washing machines. Now, for the correct answer, the engaged couple will receive 1/2 of the award, the other half being forwarded to the listener who sent the question we ask. Now, listen carefully, because your question may be asked tonight, those listeners, and the engaged couple may earn a magnificent prize for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you know Howard Craven, well-known in quiz circles throughout Australia, and since you're a well-known quiz man, Howard, would you mind stepping over the microphone to conduct our first couple through their little section?
Why, certainly. Thank you very much, John Hansbury. And the first engaged couple to the microphone this evening, making their way up now. This is the particular microphone. Firstly, it's... Your name, sir?
Leo Zulu.
Leo?
Zulu.
Sulo. A little closer, would you? Thanks, Leo. May call you Leo, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. And...
Joyce Peasley.
How do you do, Joyce? Happy, folks? Right. Here it goes. Your question was sent to you, or sent in to us, rather, by Mrs. J. Hoffman, 555 Fitzgerald Street, North Perth, Western Australia. And your prize, 2 imported crystal water sets. Assuming we answer the question correctly, and I think we're going to. Do cheer up! Didn't they look so unhappy? That's right. Here we go. Here's your question, and we're off. Good luck also to Mrs. Hoffman. Mrs. Hoffman wants you good people to tell us that if you were blindfolded, by what simple process could you determine the difference between a penny and a 2-shilling piece if you were able to handle each? Now, Leo looks as if he's going to answer.
The 2 shillings has a serrated edge, and
Yes.
the penny has a smooth edge.
I think we'll pay it. Yes, right all the way. Well done. Good work. That's it. The milled edge of a 2 shillings and the penny has the smooth edge. And an imported crystal water set to you, good people, and also to Mrs. J. Hoffman, 555 Fitzgerald Street, North Perth, Western Australia. Congratulations to you also, Miss Hoffman. John, your turn now.
Thank you very much, Howard. That's right. Give them a farewell and a welcome to our next couple. Here they come right up to the microphone. Come right in, please. The little lady looks a little shy. Would you like to put your arm around her, sir? Do that. That's right. Pull together like the ivy on the old garden wall. Now, what's your name, sir?
Stan Bredman.
Stan Bredman. Uh-huh.
Val Friedman.
And Val Friedman. Both men. I mean, on the end of the name, yes. All right. Here we go. And your beautiful prize is a beautiful silver tea and coffee service, if you happen to be correct in your answer, which was sent in to us by one of our listeners. We'll tell you about it in a moment, and she also will secure for herself that silver tea and coffee service too, if you are lucky enough to get the right answer. Okay? Question was forwarded to us by a listener who regularly listens to our Astro show, and we're delighted to include her question, as this is the first time we have had an opportunity of including a question that has come all the way from New Zealand. New Zealand. The question was forwarded by Mrs. Winifred D. Harper of 209 Stafford Street. Oh, wait a minute. Hoppy Chicker, I think is the address. Westland, New Zealand. Hello, Mrs. Harper, way over there. Everyone in Australia has their fingers crossed tonight, because if we can earn a correct answer from our engaged couples, you'll receive 1/2 of the prize that is applicable.
John, excuse me interrupting. A nice idea, I think, might be a cheerio call to our New Zealand listener.
All
what
right.
do you say?
Righto. Thank you for reminding me of that, Howard. Ladies and gentlemen, on 3, a big cheerio to New Zealand, to Mrs. Harper. 1, 2, 3. Well, that goes all the way over to you, Mrs. Harper. And, I'm showing you the question and the answer. Well, aren't I a silly boy? Well, come up to the microphone. That's it, don't go away. In mythology, Greek or Roman, I'm not sure which, we learn that... don't be frightened. This is something right up your line. In Greek, we learn that Eros and Venus are a god and goddess. Now, if anyone can give us the correct answer, surely you can, because you're engaged. We want to know the Greek or Roman god and goddess, Eros and Venus, are the god and goddess of what? Shh, that's right. Come on, closer.
Cupid.
Cupid? Well, he's a relation, you know.
Venus.
Venus and Eros is a relation to Cupid, and what does Cupid represent? In one short word, you know.
Love.
Love is right. Okay. Here it goes. You earned yourself a beautiful silver tea and coffee service, and so does Mrs. Harper of New Zealand. Hello, Mrs. Harper. That'll be coming over to you. Our thanks once again, and, of course, another large family-sized bottle of Astro to the lucky contestants. And back to Howard Craven.
Right, thank you, John. On we go. Things are really popping tonight. And the third engaged couple to the microphone. Good evening to...
Joyce Townsend.
Come in close when you speak. How do you do, Joyce and...
John Linklater.
Joyce and John. Fine. Welcome to the show. You've got to keep up the good work, right? All right, Joyce and John, your particular question was sent to us by Mrs. J. Simmons, Currawee Station via Port Augusta, South Australia. Good evening, Mrs. Simmons. Thank you very much for your question, and good luck also to you. Joyce and John are going to do all the work, and we wish them very good luck. Your prize, incidentally, 2 triple throat wide-range mantle model radios. Very nice. Very nice. Well, here we go. Good luck to you both. Here comes your question. A work by one of Australia's most famous writers is Song of the Pen. Mrs. Simmons of Port Augusta, South Australia, will share this prize with you if you can tell her the Australian author of Song of the Pen. Joyce? John?
Patterson? Patterson?
Would you mean Banjo Patterson?
Yes.
You would? You're right, too. Yes, it is. Right. Well done, Joyce. Well done, too. A.B. Banjo Patterson is the correct answer, and also all sorts of congratulations to Mrs. J. Simmons, Currawee Station via Port Augusta, South Australia. A triple throat wide-range mantle radio is on its way to you, Mrs. Simmons. Well done. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Howard. On with the good work. Here are our next couple coming up to the microphone. Would you tell us your name, please?
Lionel Morgan.
Come on, Lionel, a little louder.
Lionel Morgan.
Lionel Morgan, where do you live, Lionel?
Redfern.
At Redfern. And you?
Patland, Redfern.
Patland, Redfern. Not in the same street, I hope.
Same house.
Same house. Well, isn't that convenient? Good, that's lovely. Come right up a little closer. That's it. Now, your prize is 2 large family-size unit pressure cookers. Now, that's 1 each for you and the listener who forwarded the question, Mrs. Dennis McKay of 93 Telford Street, Rockhampton, Queensland. Hello, Dennis. Well, I hope you have use for a pressure cooker, and I'm sure you will, because you don't have to be such a good cook if you have one of those. Now, one of the world's most famous baritone singers has a full name which comprises of 3 very popular male Christian names. 3 in 1, like a radiogram, you know? 3 popular male Christian names.
John
Who is this?
Charles
Who?
John Charles Thomas.
You're right, yes, John Charles Thomas. Off you go. You have won yourself a family-sized pressure cooker. And Dennis, up there at Rockhampton, you have one too. Thanks, Howard. You're coming right up to the microphone now.
Right, thank you, John Hansbury. Well, this is terrific. Our next engaged couple are right here, happy and smiling, I trust. In a little closer, that's fine. Well, she's smiling now, and it's,
Margaret Brothers.
Margaret Brothers. You don't mind me holding Margaret's hand, do you? Oh, he's a big fella, too. Thank you, Margaret, and it's,
Mervyn Torben.
Good evening, Mervyn, and good evening, Margaret. Where do you come from, Margaret?
Cremorne.
Cremorne, and Mervyn?
Mossman.
From Mossman. Oh, very excellent. Well, here it is. Your question has been sent, incidentally, to us by H.J. Miller, 14 Clarendon Street, Ballarat, Victoria. Mr. Miller, good evening also to you. Thank you for your question. The prize, 2 electric irons. Very handy, an electric iron? Yes. Mervyn doesn't know about that, but still, Margaret seems very happy. Well, here's your question. As you know, you share the jackpot with Mr. Miller of Ballarat, Victoria, should you answer it correctly. Now, take your time and watch it. I'll say no more, except be very careful, Mervyn, and also Margaret. Tell me, if I had a peacock and it laid an egg in your backyard in Cremorne, whose egg would it be?
Peacocks don't fly.
That's right! They don't either, no. They don't lay eggs. Wonderful. Mervyn looks a little doubtful. You agree with that, Mervyn?
Oh, quite.
Oh, yes, he's right. I thought you'd look a bit worried. Well done, Mervyn, and well done, Margaret. Peacocks don't lay eggs, but peahens do. And they have successfully won their prize, an electric iron, and one also to Mr. H.J. Miller of 14 Clarendon Street, Ballarat, Victoria, for sending us the question. Your electric iron will be dispatched post-haste, Mr. Miller. Thanks a lot, and well done to Margaret Brothers and Mervyn Torpin. John, it's back to you.
Thank you very much, Howard. Well, that's very, very nice indeed. Everybody's winning prizes. Let's hope the next one goes off because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the question which will win for 2 people an electric washing machine each. Now, come up to the microphone. Come up, please. That's the idea. You're looking very happy. Let's hope you'll be just as happy in a few moments' time. Now, tell us your names.
Betty Facey of Mossman.
Betty Facer of Mossman.
Facey.
Facey, yes.
And Ron Hind of Five Dock.
Ron Hind of Five Dock. You're separated a good distance. However, you'll get over there. You've probably got a bike. Anyway, here is the question, and it was sent in to us by Mrs. F.F. Jackson of Mossman Lane, Glen Innes, New South Wales. She is really hoping. Hello, Mrs. Jackson. I know you're hoping. Your fingers crossed that our good couple here can answer the question. Okay, it's a very important question. No help to you on this one for the washing machines. Now, Mrs. Jackson asks you to name a word in the English language that begins with H-E and ends with H-E. A word which begins with H-E, he, and ends with he. Not just he, you know, but a word. A real word that begins with...
Headache.
He's right! He's right. Well, that's really lovely. What's your name again, sir?
Ron Hine.
Ron and?
Betty Face.
Ron and Betty, you've won yourself a washing machine. Now, when are you going to get married on that? Not on the... You are?
year.
That's put it ahead a long, long way. And Mrs. Jackson, housework is no longer irksome. You have a washing machine, too, and he knows his Aspro headache. He got it in a flash. There's no need to have it as long as you've got Aspro in the house. Congratulations. We didn't try to give it away, but you got it. Thank you, and cheerio to you both now. Well, that's the completion of the Glory Box quiz in this year's, in this last Aspro show. Our congratulations to the winners and our thanks to the fine couples who participated.
What is the key to the remarkable success of Aspro and its worldwide acceptance? Well, it's simply this. Aspro gives you effectiveness without risk. Now, there's no need to include harmful drugs in Aspro. It does its work of relieving pain simply, effectively, harmlessly, because it is Aspro. When you take Aspro, you do so with a free and easy mind. You can take Aspro as often as necessary without fear of harm to heart or stomach. A-S-P-R-O, Aspro.
Thank you, Howard. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the presentation to Aspro's Mr. and Mrs. Australia. Last week you heard Mr. and Mrs. Keith Howard, representing the state of West Australia, selected as Aspro's Mr. and Mrs. Australia. And, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. Well, really a big and happy family tonight. All the contestants are here with us, of course, and they're very, very happy to be along. May we offer you our congratulations. What have you got to say?
We are very proud, Mr. Hansbury, and we thank the judges and the people of Australia very much for placing their confidence in us.
I should like to express our very sincere thanks to the sponsors of the show, Nicholas, who have given this great opportunity to two young Australians for this splendid adventure.
You haven't got over your excitement yet, I suppose, huh?
Not really, no.
What does it feel like to be Mr. and Mrs. Australia? You know, you've got a very large family to look after. How are you doing?
Yes, it's just too fantastic, the feeling.
Too fantastic. And you, Keith, can you put it down to anything more than that?
I'm afraid...
You're afraid
I'm afraid that word doesn't even cover it.
Oh, we have to fade out there because the needle's going to drop off the record, and we only have part one of that final episode, and that was a Ronna Beck production of the Aspro show in the late 1940s. Sydney episodes. We have actually an archive of these from another deceased estate, and I used to play them when I first started these missions. I played dozens of episodes of the Aspro show, and this one was unknown to me. It's apparently the grand final, but we only have half the grand final. So what it was to be Mr. and Mrs. Australia in the late 1940s. That's the product. Well, what we'll do now at this point, because I have to go inside, I'm going to put on the wireless in the house and listen to Alfred Cortot playing a live performance of Chopin's Piano Concerto No. 2. We heard him play the Beethoven No. 1 the other night, and it's one of the most extraordinary piano experiences I've ever had. It just beggars disbelief to hear that sort of lyricism in piano playing. And he was an old man at the time, and it's amazing to think that this artist was, performing in the 19th century. Yet he lived right until the mid-1960s even. But these recordings are from the 40s. He was an old man then, but he still had a lot of his... he certainly had his skills as a remarkable interpreter. So, yay, we'll hear him, Mr. Cortot, Alfred Cortot. Oh, look, I have to tell, before I play this, I have to tell you a wonderful practical joke I heard about Cortot. Cortot was a very serious man, and he was a bit particular, a bit fussy, a bit sort of inward, you know what they're like, these artists. And, he was in a trio with Pablo Casals and Jacques Thibault. Thibault was a great practical joker and a philanderer, and he was sort of very cavalier, and he was sort of the opposite to Cortot. They were in a trio for about 40 years. They toured every year. They did a tour, and they were very close, and they memorised all their repertoire, and there's probably the greatest piano trio of all time, the Courteau, Thibaut, Casals piano trio. Anyhow, they used to go on tour, and there's some great stories about the way that these different personalities sort of complemented or didn't complement each other. And the story is that Courteau, being very fussy, very particular, very sort of self-obsessed, a bit of a navel-gazer, was complaining that he wasn't getting enough sleep. And they were staying at a small provincial hotel while on tour. And Thibaut, the violinist, who was a great practical joker, decided that after Courteau retired to bed, he put the word toilet above the door of Courteau's room. So, all night in this little provincial hotel, there were knocks on the door, people wanting to use the toilet. But of course, poor old Courteau had to get up each time and maintain his need for privacy and quiet. So there we go. That's a good story. Another one, there's some fabulous stories. Another one is that Courteau was playing off the sheet music, and Thibaut, the violinist, wrote in a huge number of sharps and flats and doctored the score in a really chaotic way. And he turned the page and saw this just complete cacophony and had to play by memory because the music was unreadable. And then on the next page, he was sweating, and he turned the page, and there's the big words, bravo, on top of the page. There we go. A couple of industry stories about Courteau and company. Anyhow, we'll hear the artist in question in his inimitable interpretation, a live performance of Chopin's Piano Concerto No. 2. We'll ride out with this today because I have the other lecture to attend afterwards. This is vk3sl, testing on 160 and on UHF. And I think we're right. I'm just sort of queuing up as I speak because we don't really think ahead here. But I reckon that is all okay. Thanks, folks. Thanks for your indulgence, and we'll look forward to your company tomorrow. vk3sl.
This is a test transmission from vk3sl.